Hello, hello. Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, okay. And now, there is my screen. Okay.
It's not raining much, it seems, no?
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Jim, and I'm a technical engineer. And today our topic is about server software. And I will introduce these 6 points today. After this training, please help me to complete this form. Here I have the form link in order to provide better training in the future. So your suggestions are invaluable. Here have you ever used our server software before? Can speak or write? Okay, no problem. First,
She was fixing the curtain and she fell.
first I will introduce server communicate with PC. First, we need to make one communication line, and now I will teach you how to make the communication line. Our server software communicate with the server through the Modbus RS422. So user have to buy one cable USB to RS422 cable. This cable, it look like this. And the requirement of this cable is here. It needs to support up to the bond rate, this bond rate. Otherwise, the waveform we get will be distorted. So this is the requirement of our cable. This is the first thing we need to prepare. And this is the second. We need to prepare a RJ45, this one, and connect them together. In the between them are the wiring. Here shows how to connect this cable and this RJ45. The pin running as is pictured. Be careful not to get it wrong. Do you have any question about this point, about how to make a communication line? Because our company didn't support this line, so user need to make it yourself. Anybody have a problem about this point? If no problem, I will continue. This cable USB connect to PC, and this Ethernet port connect to our server. Okay, next. And now I will introduce how to troubleshoot communication problems. Sometimes our PC software may can't communicate with our server, so we can check by these steps one by one. First, we need to check the driver. We can open our computer device manager. When we insert the USB cable, we will get a new COM port in device management. So if we didn't get the COM port, we need to reinstall or update our drivers. This is the first thing we need to change. And the next, if we can get the COM port, we need to check
Reveal that those who are not lucky in the era would have a chance in the next draw.
Maybe you have maybe we selected the wrong COM port, so it will also cost the communication problem. If the driver is normal and we choose the correct COM port, we may need to check the value. We need to check this pin. Is there any problem about this value? If the value is also correct, then we need to continue to our next steps. We need to check if our server, here Java means server, we need to check our server is it normal. We can change another server to check. If another server in another server have no problem, then there may be some interface about the problem server that we can't communicate. So now we need to here I write wrong here. This step is to check if there are some interference. If yes, some interference may also make the communication problem. Sorry. There are interference. Yeah. And after all these steps, we still can't communicate successfully, then please contact us. We will help to check the problem. Normally, we can solve the communication problem through these steps. So, do you have any question about this troubleshooting? You can speak or write here. If you say nothing, I will think you all understand. Okay. Okay. And please note, if the software displayed an unknown model after we communication successfully, please download the latest software to communicate. Some old software can't detect our new servo. So if happen these things, please download the latest software. Our newest software is this one. This version. Okay, can I continue? Okay, I will continue. Section 2, I will introduce our software interface. This is our software interface. On the top is our software version. As I said, this is the latest version, v1.1.5. And on the left, here are our function windows. We have 5 windows with different problems, with different functions. And I will introduce them one by one later. And on the below our function windows is our communication and the language. Here we can connect to our server through here, and here language, we can switch the language here. And here, this big window is our main working window. We can see the in parameter windows, we can see all parameters. This is our software interface. Now I will change here. This is our software. Now I will power on my servo. And this is the COM port. And click connect. Here we have found our server. This one. This is my server model. We can click this one. Read from server. We can read all the parameters to our software. Okay. And here is our version and the language switch. This is the language we're using now, and this is the other language we can switch to. Until now, our software only supports Chinese and English. We can switch the language like this. And this is and okay, this is our interface, software interface. Now return to our PPT. Now I will introduce how to set our parameter. First, we need to click parameter window, and here we can see all the group with different parameters. And first, we need to double click the function we need to set, and then enter our setting value. Here we can see the current value is 1 and the setting value 2. After set the value, we click save, and then we need to click download select the parameter we want to download to our server, and click download. Here we have different setting types. Stop setting means we need to make the server stop in a ready status. Then we can download the parameters. And the run setting, this type we can directly write the parameter to our server, even though the server is in a run state. This is different. Okay, now, do you know how to download the parameters? Just like here in point 0, in group 0. Here we can set the control mode of our server. Here I set oh. First, here we can right click to check all. Click here, all parameters, and right click to check all. Now we select all parameters, and click right. Read the parameter from server to our software. And now we can auto set. We click double click, and set the value. The value 1 means the server is in position control mode now. And here I set 2 to make the server in speed control mode. Set. Click this parameter. And here, download successfully. And now my server will be in a speed control mode. This is how to download parameter and read parameter. Do you have a problem about this point? I think it's very easy for you. Okay, I will continue. And now I will introduce how to export and import parameters. Sometimes we need to restoring our servo to factory settings. Before this operation, we can export all the parameters as backup to our computer. And next time when we need to set the same value, we just need to import the parameters. Here we can export and import. I will show you how to do it. It's very easy. We just need to click export and save it to my desktop and name it. This is the files type. Is CONF. And how to import. Just click here and select the file we export just now, this one, and open it. Okay. And this is how to fetch. I feel things have some problem. No problem. Here we can see the parameters I export just now. We can use a text to open this file. It's just look like this. And this is how to export and import parameters. Do you have any problem about this point? How to download, read parameter, and how to export, import parameter? Okay, continue. And now I will introduce the status monitoring and fault query. About status monitoring, we need to use this monitor window. And the monitor window have these three parts. Make up of these three parts. The first one is our operating status, including our, for example, some current, some speed, and some position. We can check it here in monitoring. And then the second part is the historical fault. I will show you in the here. Here we can see our historical fault. The first fault called of the master reset, and the second, third, fourth, and fifth. And then the second part is our device version. For example, we can check our model code. Here, this is my model code. And also here, we can check our firmware version of our server and the hardware version of our server. Sometimes we may need to user to support this to give us these two parameters to check some problem. So how to view the version, firmware version and the hardware version. We can select monitor and do 2.5 and 2.6. Hello, we have some problem. I have already introduced in the beginning.
ভয়াবহ সিলেট গ্রিড, সুনামগঞ্জ গ্রিড, ছাতক গ্রিড, পাওয়ার গ্রিড সব বন্ধ। মানে সিলেটে বিদ্যুৎ নাই এখন, টোটাল সিলেট বিদ্যুৎ দিচ্ছে না। ওই যে মনে হয় পর্বত থেকে মনে হয় বাড়ি বর্ষণ টর্ষণ এরকম কিছু।
Are you speaking to me? Are you talking to me?
Sorry for interrupt. Okay, let's start again. Carry on.
Oh, all right. And now continue. Here we have two file rate types. First one is file rate by click here, and the second is file rate by cycle, by this cycle. Per 500 ms, the value will refresh itself. If we click here, auto refresh. This is two types to vary our these parameters. Okay. Now continue. Here now I will introduce how to use our arrow window. In this window, we can this window is made up with these three parts. The first one is our alarm code. Here, this is our alarm code, and the second part, the cause of this alarm. We can see it here. This alarm 27 means the encoder deconnection, and here we have some execution about this error. For example, if we have the alarm code 26, we need to check the value of our model encoder cable. Or we can replace the encoder cable and power on again to check check if the alarm is secure on here. Here. Now I have no alarm, and now I will remove my encoder line. Here you can see I have an alarm because I disconnect my encoder line. So now I will insert the encoder line. And repower on my servo. And query again. Here, the alarm is disappeared. And this is the introduce of our Hello Windows. How to use this window, this function.
Servo có đây không? Không có. Đây hôm nay cho toàn là người nước ngoài không à, không thấy người Việt Nam.
Tiếng Việt luôn kìa.
Người đâu?
Okay, I will continue. Section 5.
Tôi dùng cái áo continue nghĩa là chúng ta bắt đầu tiếp tục. Áo nghĩa là sao không quy của chúng ta.
Section 5.
Section 5. Đọc tiếng Anh không?
Unit identification. This is the important operation of our server. The real-time and the accuracy of
nghe chứ còn nghe mà không nghe được khó nghe. Nghe tay nghe
is
còn
one of
khó.
the key factors for the server control
Vô
system.
nghe đây.
To get the high performance, which may affect the adjustment of the game parameters. So usually we need to do this operation first.
Đây có cả bằng ở Bangladesh nè.
Hello my friend, if you don't have problem,
Thái Lan.
could you please don't speak because it may influence others. Okay, thank you. And we have two ways to identify our inner tier. First one is use our debug window to identify. The first steps, we need to set these parameters, and later I will introduce what these parameters works. And then the second, after we set these parameters, we need to make the servo on, means make it in a run state, and then we click forward or reverse to rotate our motor. And here we'll have the value of our motor position. We need to make the value bigger than this parameter. The movement cycle is here. We set here. For example, here if we set 2, yeah, we need to forward or reverse the motor until the value is bigger than is here. After these steps, we can click identify to get our inner tail. And then we can write these parameters to our servo. Now I will use software to show this operation. Our debugging. Oh, and another important thing I just forget to say is when we use debug to identify it, we need to set our servo in here in position control. Here we need to, for now my servo is, this value is 2, is in speed control. So I need to set it to position control first. Then and download this parameter to my servo. Okay. And now we return to the monitor. Oh, sorry, to debugging. And here to set the jog speed 60, and set the movement cycle. Here I set 2, and also the max speed. Here I set 500. And here have the model of movement. It means the motor will run in this type, forward to forward, or reverse to reverse, or forward to reverse. I will have a video to show this. And now, after set the control mode to position control, and here we need to set the servo in off steps. It means the ready steps. And now we set this parameter. After setting, we click on and click these two to forward or reverse my motor. Here I have the value of the position of our encoder. Yes, and then the value must be bigger than my PPT. Here I write the value needs to be bigger than this one. It depends on your servo. My servo is 17 bits, so the value is 131072. If my if my servo is my encoder is these types, then this value need to change to this. It's about it's about this one. So for different type of our encoder, this value is different. Do you have a question about this point? Okay. And now return to my software. Here, we need to set the for what the auto continue until the value is bigger than what? Bigger than until the value is bigger than here, this one. And we can find this identity is turned on. Before it is turned off, we can't click, but now we can click it. And for now, we can start to identify it. And then the motor will will run itself, and to identify these parameters. For example, the max speed, max torque, and all these parameters to get our inertia ratio. This is the value we need to get. And we click yes to write this value to our servo. And the identification is complete. Here the video. This is the identification process. After I click I identify, the motor will run itself like this. It will run itself. And stop. And then we can get these parameters. We can get this parameter. For this mode of movement is about identification for process. Here, if we set forward and reverse, then our motor will run this and then this and this bicycle. If here we select forward to forward, then our motor will keep forward all the time until identifies this parameter. Also, if we choose the reverse to reverse, our motor will reverse and reverse all the time until to identify our inertial ratio. So this is the mode of movement during the identification process. So you may ask what it is used for. Sometimes, for example, this is our servo, our motor, and this is the machine. And if the is too short, and the way click and the way choose forwards and forwards, then our motor will go and beyond and fall down, or it will it will have problem. So in this case, if it is too short, we need to click forward and reverse. Then our motor will forward and reverse. Here where movement always in a short in a short distance, so it will not go out of our, for example, our bed. And this is why we need to set the movement of the mode of movement. Okay. So this is the steps about how to identify our inertia. Do you have a problem of these steps? Do you have question about these steps? First, we need to set the servo to position mode. And the second, we set the servo to ready status. And second, set the parameters here. And next, forward or reverse the motor until the value is bigger than it. And then the last step, we can click identify and make a servo to run itself until get the parameters we need, and we can write it to our servo. This is all the steps. If no problems, I will continue. Okay. Next. This is another way to get the identification. It's in our monitor. We can use U020 this code to get our real-time load inertial ratio. What we need to do is make the motor rotate a few turns and a speed bigger than 300 RPM. Then we can view the real-time load inertial ratio in our monitor. And we can just write this parameter. Write this parameter to our here to our code 3.1. And in the last section, I will introduce our work form window. This one. This one is through this windows, this function windows. We can get the running states of our model. First, we need to set the work form channel. We have up to 4 channels, and for each channel we can set different parameters we need to monitor. For example, here is real-time speed, position command, and the position inversion, and so on. This is the first step. We need to set these 4 channels. And the second, we make the servo to run, and click recording. And after click recording, our software will record this 4 channel real time. And later, we can click it again to stop recording, and use these 2 buttons to adjust our waveform to a suitable shape. Last, we can also set the data, set the curve data to our computer for analyze. Now I will show you how to do it. First, here I will reset my server first. Set it to 1 and download to server. After reset, we need to repower on our server. After we power on, our software find our server again, and here we choose root from server Java. And now I will import one config, import one file. This one, I have set a multi-segment function, multi-segment implement before, and import it to my software. Okay, now I have already imported the parameters to my software. Download my server. Here I have an error, 84. It means some parameters write to our server, and the server needs to power on to make the parameter works. And now I will power on my server. Finished, and then the alarm disappeared. And now I will make my servo move, make my motor move. Come on. Okay, and now my motor is running now, and in monitor and in here waveform windows. Here I click recording, and this is my real-time curve, real-time data of these 4 channels. Now I click recording again to stop recording, and here to adjust the curve. Okay, and then now I can see the real-time data of these 4 channels. Each color each color stand for a different color stand for different channel. And here we can click to display or don't display it. For example, this is our real-time speed. You can see it well. This is my real-time speed. And this is my position command. You can find these 2 parameters is very close because the servo sent the position command to motor, and the motor ran the binary command rank according to the amount. So and it can get the real-time speed according to the position command. So these two parameters is very close. And the last, we can here click save data as to save the point data. This one. This is the data we export. We can export this data field to check our motor's movement, to analyze if they have some problem. Waveform data. And this is on the topic, on the points I want to introduce today. Our topic is finished now. You have some problem. If you have, you can write here. And remember to help me to complete this form. I will send it to you. Any suggestions you can give me in the form to adjust my later training. If no problems, our training will finish on today's training.
Excuse me.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Can you share this file with us?
Show you what?
May we get this file?
Show you this PPT, right? This presentation.
Okay.
No problem. I will put the PPT link to this form. If you want, you can get the PPT from this form link. And thank you for your time to attend this training. Thank you very much. Yes, yes, of course. I will share the video to our YouTube. You can get it on the YouTube. You're welcome. Okay, thank you. Have a nice week. Goodbye. Goodbye.